Recording is in progress. Hey, hello everybody. Daryl Snyder here, Fantasy Sports Logic. Happy Sunday, July 2nd, right smack dab in the middle of our 4th of July weekend. Hopefully you're all having an awesome one. A little bit about what I'm going to share here in a brief. I think I'll keep it less than 15 minutes, maybe 10. I've got some great partnerships. I just recorded a video. It'll be up on the YouTube channel with NeuroTracker. I did 2 6-minute sessions. So if you want to check that out, it's a cognitive brain training program that I've been using for a couple of years. Completed sessions 491 and 492. So some amazing things with that technology. They are a partner. This one is about Ballpark Pal. Aaron, great company, ballparkpal.com. We have a daily blog at fantasysportslogic.com. This is the site. If you go to the site, there's a blog absolutely free. I post every day. Today, Sunday, July 2nd. Fantasy Sports Logic, Ballpark Pal, partnership, daily park factors, game simulations, player projections, and more. And Aaron does a whale of a job putting together some really cool content. He runs 3,000 simulations on Major League Baseball games on any given day. And he runs a home run report, daily fantasy report, daily, I need to capitalize that D, which I'll correct in the blog, daily ballpark report, and the starting pitcher preview. So I'll cover a little bit of these. You can see today, the home run report, most likely to hit a home run. Anthony Santander, the Baltimore Orioles, 26.6% probability. That's pretty good. 14% matchup in his favor. And the ballpark in Baltimore must be warm or the wind must be blowing out. We'll see when we get to the factors down there, but 33% advantage. So that's pretty good. Kyle Schwarber is next, still at 26%. He has a 10% matchup with the pitcher, Trevor Williams, and 21% park in his favor in Philly. It's always a favorable ballpark. Tony, he seems like he hits a home run every other day. What's he got, 30? At least 30. He's favored almost 26%, 14% matchup against Zach Gallen. He's a good pitcher. That's interesting. 7% park factor, Ryan O'Hearn, another Oriole. It looks like Sonny Gray's not matching up too well with the 2 Orioles. You can see the percentage. And then Pete Alonso on the ESPN Game of the Week against my Giants, facing Ross Stripling, who he has given up some long balls, so I can understand that. And you see solid matchups. You got a lot of Phillies. You got Real Muto, Castellanos, Stott, who had a big day yesterday. I think he hit 1, if not 2. You can see some other ones. Kurloff for the Twins that's some boost, and then you see some outlier odds against if you're into gambling. I do daily fantasy stuff. California gambling is not legal, but we do get a lot of questions about prop picks, so you can use this information accordingly to do some good analysis. Here's the fantasy report. O'Hearn, Freeman, Alonso. He breaks it down by position, pitchers, and then outfield. Right on the blue is FanDuel projected fantasy scores for the day, and the green is DraftKings. See that O'Hearn, Freeman, Alonso because of the home run. Predicted third. See second. I won't go through all do this, but you can. You see the top guys in each position: Trey Turner, again, Real Muto, Rushman, Contreras, one of the brothers. Looks like that's the Brewer brother. All favored solid in the catching position, and then DH, Ohtani, Harper, and Marte from Arizona favored. You got Acuna. Atlanta's been rolling in the outfield. Schwarber, Carpenter, a good one's probably lower priced pick, and then you can see, and then the pitchers: Castillo, Strider, who's a strikeout machine. He's the highest price on DraftKings, 12,600. We'll see that when we get to the optimizer, but he seems to average about 10 strikeouts today. I think he's projected 8. Maybe he's against a pretty solid Tampa Bay team that Atlanta's handled the first 2 games. Here's the ballpark report. This is kind of cool. This is what caught my attention when I reached out to Aaron a couple months ago, looking to collaborate with him. Coors Field, always a hitter's park. I won't say always, most of the time when it warms up. Early in the year, sometimes it can be cold and not as big a factor, but the air is thin. You'll see probability of home runs up 21%. Look at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, always a hitter's park. Unless there's a gale force wind coming in again. 44% increase in home runs, down 5% in doubles and triples. Not sure why that. Singles 8%. There's Camden Yards again up 40%. Philly up 43%. So you can see if you're targeting run totals or some of the players from these teams. Kauffman Stadium had lately been a very friendly hitter's park. Today, must be coming in. You can see the arrows, 21%. Low, I think Gonsolin for the Dodgers is going. So he may be a good pitcher to target in a what's looking like a harder stadium to score in today. Citi Field, Giants and the Mets. Again, ESPN game of the week, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Giants are banged up. I don't know who will be back, but they've been lacking Yastrzemski and Conforto, and so they haven't done it as well. I mean, they're still 9 games up, but you tell I'll talk a lot about the Giants. If you're a Dodger fan, probably won't like me. But you can look at the other stadiums. Wrigley Field, wind is blowing in off the lake out of the north, projected 17%. Less favorable today. Some of the others pretty close. Oakland, always a more difficult stadium to score in. The Coliseum, I guess, minus 8%. I guess starting pitcher preview, they grade them. I made a comment yesterday. You know, some of these look like my high school report cards. Unfortunately, it's still more red, not the green. But Sonny Gray, even though there were some Orioles favored to go along with him, his report card overall A. So he's been pitching well this year. He's in a tough spot in that stadium against the Orioles, and say that the probability of home runs and runs being scored isn't in his favor. Where's Gonsolin? Hasn't been scoring as well, but he's against Kansas City in a favorable. Maybe you look at Singer, huh? I always like to go out here, see the home runs. Urban, 5.9 against the Twins. That's interesting. Cole for the Yankees, always a strikeout pitcher. I think he's the second most expensive on DraftKings. 6.2 strikeouts, favored to go 6 innings, allowed just shy of 3 runs. Castillo, this should be a good matchup. I think it's in the afternoon slate. It's not the early one, but you got Bradley Taj, who's been pitching well. Both of them over 7 strikeouts, so it's probably a low total. I haven't looked at. I would think with that it's probably 8, if not lower. But you can see there's Stripling FF, meaning not too good on his pitches, slider, or his change have been getting hammered. He's favored just over 3 strikeouts to go just shy of 5 innings and allow 3 runs. Peterson for the Mets. Looks like he's done a little better, but his overall grade. So hopefully that helped you. We have a nice deal going on. We have an optimizer I'm going to show you in a second. We have 7 live player projection feeds, of which the Ballpark Pal is 1 of the 7, and then we have a blend making it 8. I think we're the only optimizer in the market with that many feeds, simulations. If you combine all of them, over 50,000 simulations of any given major league game. But if you try the optimizer, 7 days for $1, we want you to come check it out. Watch the videos on getting started. A lot of features. I'll try to be brief, but Drafters has partnered with us. We will give you, while they last, a $20 absolutely free for just trying the 7-day test drive for $1. So I guess it's costing you $1, but it's an entry into their $2 million best ball style NFL contest with a $300,000 first place. It's a little different than some of the other best balls. This is the whole season. It doesn't break off to the playoff. And you get a free $20, no obligation. You just go to Drafters. Contact me. Well, I'll know when you sign up on the 7-day test drive, but I'll personally make sure you get that $20 voucher. So some cool stuff happening. Let me show you the optimizer real quick. This is it. This is what you'll be test driving for 7 days. As I had mentioned before, Strider on top. You'll see we update this thing like every 15 minutes. So there's feeds coming in constantly from Ballpark Pal, who we just mentioned, but they're also in the optimizer. FTN data, Frank over there, I think he simulates a game 40,000 times. Baker, 10,000 times. We're the first. Baker just made the baseball engine available. Last year they came out with it in football. We'll have it in football as well. We have our blend of the 7, RotoWire. Anybody in the industry knows about them. Been out in the industry a long time. Sport Radar with Dan, Sports Data IO with Charles, Shannon at RotoWire, Stats Perform with Corey, all good people, all providing us. You can see live player projection data feeds. So historical data, matchups, probabilities to score. You can see, let me show you how this works. Let's see lock in Strider, even though he's super expensive, but he has an upside. I mean, the guy could go off for 10 to probably 14, 15 strikeouts. See, I locked him in, shows him up here. If you want to lock a position player in, where's Ohtani? Well, that may be an afternoon. No, he's here. I believe. Where are you? Where are you, Ohtani? Maybe it is an afternoon game. Who else? How about Tatis in Cincinnati Stadium? Let's lock him in. See what happens. You can do, you can stack. I love to stack. Most of the winning combinations have at least a 4 stack. I like what's called a 5 stack attack. Seems to click more often than not. So you can choose a team. Boom. If we're going to go Padres, let's see what happens. Since I put in Tatis, I put 2 there. So it's calculating. You can see it's running. I could generate 2, but I'm going to go to at least 4. It's probably going to throw Soto and Machado and a bunch of them. Makes sense, right? Putting it with a little AI machine learning elves in the background. Working away. We're going to get an update there. I just see, so I'll update it. New feeds. Normally the feeds stay consistent, but the closer you get to lock, you get some. Oops, we lost somebody there. Who did we lose with a 0? B2. Who is that? Oh, Ballpark Pal. We're just talking about you. Let's refresh it. This feed didn't come through, so if I can get it again. Yeah, he's back. Okay. What did I lock in? Strider and Fernando. Dynamic Tatis. See what happens here. We get Tatis. Oh, still there. Didn't lock. Where's he got? Lock. He's expensive, but he's not in Ballpark Pal. I see. That's why. We got some of them not locked in, so we might not get his feed. But let's go to see what happens when we generate 5. Again, working in the background, generate lineups. So the player I locked is not available. That might be the Ballpark Pal. It happens when you have 7 different feeds coming in. No, I think we got, Soto got a 0 with one of them. But anyway, you can see Strider matched up Singer. I mentioned him because of Kansas City, although it's against the Dodgers. It's obviously dangerous, but looks like it's favorable pitching conditions. You grabbed Real Milito. This is the blend of the 7. You can see each has its own flavor of favorites for the day. You can go out RotoWire, the Sport Radar, Sports Data IO, Stats Perform, Strider, Singer looks popular. Then Lucky Man, I think they like the value, right? Today, which is price is low. So go back to the blend. The T, Schwarber grabbed Real Mudos, grabbed a couple Phillies, shows you what position they're batting in the order, and you can create like up to 150 max lineups. You hit generate lineups. It'll put them in a CSV file, which is pretty common among optimizers. There's some great ones out there, been around for years. You see a lot of the people that understand the power of them using the different ones. There's Saber Sim, which is popular. There's Fantasy Cruncher. There's Stochastic that they use. I don't want to be incorrect there, but I think that they use Fantasy Cruncher. I know there's Line Star. There's a variety. I think that Sport Radar has their own, FTN now. They're all good. It's all about, I created this with the intention for the average person. Prices vary, I think, in line. It's only $29.97 a month. All sports right now are MLB. We add NFL, we add golf, we add NBA. Next year, if we get into, I've had requests for cricket, soccer, NASCAR, the data is all there. But whenever we add another sport, you don't pay anything else. It's a lifetime one time while in beta right now, $299.97. You don't pay anything else. I mean, that price, as we add different sports, I think that's one of the best values in the market, but it's only a value if you like it, use it, and it helps you to pick out whether you're doing a max 150 or a single entry. If you're using it to play on, like Drafters has a player prop, so the Super Draft, that's another partner. A lot of other sites, Underdog, Prize Picks, Underdog's a partner as well. Fantasy Sports Logic. You can use the data. You can use both Ballpark Pal graphs that he just showed you on this data to try to figure what maybe a more favorable player prop matchup for the day. We've got pro settings. I mean, for those of you that are just deep and it's getting more, we're coming out with a 5-stack attack feature that I think is going to be innovative in the marketplace. But you can do, max exposure, 100% down to, I don't know how low you'd want to go max. Depends on how many lineups, right? But you can, whatever percent you want to set it out. You can do auto. I mean, there's explanations on all these. I don't want to make this an hour-and-a-half video. You got diversity. You probably always want to get diverse if you're playing max to try to get, one lineup. I read a good book, listened to it on audio. Highly recommend it, called Dueling with Kings. Daniel, I don't want to mess his name up. I think it's Barbarisi, maybe. Anyways, it's great. It's I listened to it about 20 some hours, 24. Very insightful. We're Fantasy Sports Logic in cooperation with Peter Schenke from RotoWire, who's one of the most respected on the board of Fantasy Sports Gaming Association. We're creating a movie called The Game Within. I'll talk about that more on another video, but that book helped a lot. They have a Hall of Fame, Fantasy Sports Gaming Association Hall of Fame. So look for that. Probably going to air in February. It'll be a documentary about an hour, and then we'll have a docu-series. I'm going to pull in some of the better players in the world and some of the people that have been around a long time to give the history of where fantasy sports came from, where it's been, and where it's going with Web3. I've got some crazy cool partnerships with some things that are mind-blowing, what you're going to be able to do in the virtual world with fantasy sports. So you can do max exposure, man, on each player individually. So hopefully that helped you. Like I say, dollar test drive. You can punch around on this thing. It's getting faster and faster, more and more features while it's in beta. Take advantage of the pricing. You'll be locked in for life. I mean, $299.97. send me a message if you know somebody or some companies that's offering their optimizer with as many features for that price forever. I mean, eventually I'm going to make it annually. Probably, I think it's still a great value annually. And after the 7 days, it doesn't auto update you into a subscription. You've got to notify us. So don't be worried about the dollar turning into something you don't want it to. But you will get the $20 drafters voucher while they last. I don't know how many and how long, depends. We've been getting quite a bit of attention. This will be up on my YouTube, or it is on the YouTube channel by the time you watch it. Love you to subscribe, stay in touch, like the video if you like it, and I look forward to connecting with you. Got a lot of other things, but I don't want to make this long, but thank you. If you have any questions, I'm going to do more Zooms and try to educate people as much as I can. Good luck today. It's not full. DraftKings has a mini max. I think it's a $3 150 max with 10 grand on top. Pretty good opportunity ROI. In the early slate, that's the main slate actually. I think it starts at hour and a half, maybe 10:35. So good luck to everybody. Thank you for listening, and we will connect with you soon. Let me end this meeting.